All right, all right, all right. What's happening, everybody, man? Thank you guys for tuning in. I think this is going to be our last 2021 coming to you live. So looking forward to jumping in. Who knows where the hell this conversation is going to go, but would love any questions, comments, thoughts, anything that's on your mind as we're wrapping up the year. And just throw it into the comments section, man. Let us unpack and let us dive deep and help you get unstuck moving in throughout the holiday season into the new year. Cuz, what's good?
Man, everything's good. Just finished a week of the family here in Puerto Rico, and I made my list for 2022 of the things, the places that I wanted to visit. That we've been here a while and really haven't been as aggressive with our exploration, and so got that all laid out in a document. And getting that put into the calendar, along with the big rocks and personal things that I want for the year, to do for the year, or go for the year, that kind of stuff. And then Thursday we'll be layering in all of the events, so we'll have that meeting, so we'll know what events we're going to be doing and when. Yeah. And man, I'm excited about 2022, man. It's been a good year. Looking forward to a lot of positive things. I had a little private meeting I can't talk about. It's hard not to talk about it when you can't talk about it. But
I know,
a really good private meeting with a really,
especially us, people. Man. We want to chew our arm off to share all the good stuff.
All I can say is the best news that to hit EXP since we've been at EXP is about to happen. So. Man, just a lot of positive things, man. It's we're all blessed to be a part of this, and just happy for getting to be a part and add more value. So yeah,
excited too, man. Chauncey, what's up? Max,
what's up, Chauncey? What's up, Max?
So somebody else said what's up, but can't see through the StreamYard. So what's up?
What's up?
All
what's
right,
up,
man? You guys tuning in. Appreciate y'all jumping in. Like I said, this will be the last live for us coming at you guys this year. We'll kick back off the first week. We'll wrap up tomorrow. Will be the last expert mentors of the year. We've got Mr. Albie Stasek on with us, and we're going to be talking green lights. And then we've got a good friend of ours, Fred Butts, is going to be on the last episode of Coffee and Coaching on Thursday. Now, what we're going to do next week is we'll have a little highlight reel for expert mentors. So the team put together a highlight reel for the year of expert mentors. So we're going to share that with everybody on Wednesday. And then we'll do a highlight reel for Coffee and Coaching. We'll share with you guys on Thursday. So there'll be some good nuggets still coming your way, but just wanted to give you guys the lowdown on when we're going to be coming live and at you. And then we'll be full throttle heading into the new year. And just like Cuz said, be ready. I think first of the year, we'll roll out kind of the event schedule, kind of what we're committing to early on in the year. And I'm sure we'll add as we go. But right now we do have, I think that meeting's tomorrow morning, actually.
Yeah, it may be.
Nice. So good. We're going to get at it and going to get clear on what we're going to commit to event wise and being able to pour back into all of you here in the Honey Badger Nation. So, man, all I can say, Cuz, is that if you ever get an opportunity to go see your favorite artist in their hometown, you go do it.
Yeah, dude, that was it, man. I got to see him there at a festival thing, but I know it had to have been way over the top. He filled out. Didn't he fill out that arena too?
20,000 plus.
Wow.
So what took me back. So he shared the story from stage a couple times, and this goes back to having a big vision and never letting anybody tell you any different, that you can't achieve what it is you want to achieve. And he shared the story that they were up in the nosebleeds at the back of the arena when Jay-Z played that arena. And him and Slim and the rest of the crew, they were like, we're going to be on that stage one day. That's going to be us up there one day.
Love that.
And how many people told him he would never be anything, that he would never do that? He sold out. It was standing room only, 20,000 plus. And when he started the concert, he could not start singing. He was so emotional from seeing that crowd.
Right.
And so just gives you goosebumps when you know when people have big visions and big dreams and they don't let anything get in the way from them achieving it.
Right.
And to me, that was the biggest takeaway. It was, I've seen him 4 times. That was the most emotional I've ever seen him. And,
Right.
He gave a shout out at the end. His mom was there. And if you listen to any of his music, he hadn't had a great relationship with his mom, but his mom was there. His daughter was there. All of her friends, her mom was there. And it was just, it was moving. There was one point, he had to start singing because you could just see, because on the big screen, they had him up close. You could see his eyes were just completely teared up. And, when you achieve something that you set your heart and soul to, that people tell you it'll never happen. It was moving, man. I felt it. I felt the emotion. And that's why I say, if you ever get that opportunity to see your favorite artist in their hometown, and especially something big like that, when they've been told their whole life they ain't going to be nothing.
Right. I think that's so Max. Yeah, it was Machine Gun Kelly, MGK.
Yeah.
So I probably haven't told this story in a long time, but so when Mike and I started with the coaching and all that kind of stuff, Jeff Williams had just started with it. Jeff's a friend of ours, and he had started doing something similar at the time. I don't know if you remember this, John, but Jeff, in doing what he was doing at the time, which was Top Agent Toolbox, and he was going on the road and he was selling stuff and stuff like that. He made this comment, and he didn't mean to make it the way he made it, but I took it the way he said it, and I couldn't let go of what he said. He was so excited, and he was like, "Man, dude, you couldn't believe what we're doing." He's like, "You could never do what we're doing. You could never do what we're doing." And he was saying you could never do it. And I was like, I never forgot it as long as and the next time, I'd seen Jeff at other places or whatever, but it just stuck with me. Like, this dude was telling me we weren't going to be able to be successful in the coaching arena, is what he was saying, and that we couldn't do what he was doing. And so, 10 years later, we were, Inc. fastest, growing company 7 or 6 years in a row or whatever. And I told him, I said, Jeff, you don't remember, we were standing outside of this hotel at the Westin. I'll never forget. It was the Westin in Dallas, Texas, right on the tollway. And that's when he had made that comment. And I said, Jeff, you probably don't even remember this, but we were sitting at the same hotel almost 10 years ago, and you made this comment that me and Michael never forgot. It drove us. We didn't talk about him when Jeff said that, but it was just something that you're like, who do he think he is telling us we ain't going to do something? And then it was just, so I think in some ways, that's where you get your chip on your shoulder, is when someone tells you can't do something. So,
100%, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I think, and sometimes, we encourage everybody to, hey, you can do it. But at some point in most people's lives, I think that time when someone said you can't do it might be what some people need to hear. I don't know. That's a good philosophy or not, but
it is 100%. You and I've talked about it before on previous episodes, even Power Hours, that, it takes 3 things. I believe, I honestly, 100%, I believe it takes 3 things. I believe it takes a strong purpose, right? A strong vision for what it is that you want to achieve, maybe even to a point of, what's that lasting impression? What do you want your grandkids saying about you when you're gone, right? What's that legacy? What's that purpose? And then the other is, this is Ed Milet. Right. And Milet is that, we're always trying to make somebody proud. So not losing sight of who it is that we're trying to make proud. And usually it's a parent, grandparent, somebody that took care of us when we were younger. We just really want to make them proud of us. But that third, it's the ignition. Mm-hmm. It's the, when you don't want to go anymore, you tap back into that. So I could see, through the years, just the struggles, even with, kind of bouncing our heads against the wall. But when you don't lose sight, like you said, stacking those chips on your shoulder, you've got an ignition that you can tap back into at any time. That's going to be like, yeah, forget this. We're going to keep pushing, right? We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pushing. And so I believe it takes those 3 things to achieve anything great in life. It takes that strong purpose. It takes, not losing sight of who we're trying to make proud, and then stacking those chips on your shoulder. Fuel. It's fuel.
That's my brand right here.
Say I won't.
Say I won't.
All right. Say I won't. All right, guys. So he just let the cat out of the bag. If
gives me goosebumps, man. Count me out.
If you ever with them, just say, "Hey, man, you won't do that."
Yeah.
then step back.
Or don't do that.
Or don't do that. Sometimes don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good stuff. What up, Nick? Good. Been thinking about you, brother, man. Hope you're doing well. Mr. Hillsman, Mr. Adams. Can't wait to jump in.
Yep.
What questions are on your guys' mind? What are you guys wrestling with? What do we need? What do you need help with moving into the new year? Even if it's something that maybe we can't give you a solid, direction, or maybe it's something that we can, as we're thinking about all the value that we can continue to add moving into the new year and beyond, what is it that we can continue to do for you guys? Oh, we're getting some questions, man. Have you, we talked about the gap in the gain and green lights in a little bit, but I was on a call with the Fosters and Scott Vosberg and their team this morning. And, where the concept that I really landed back on was, and it's so similar to the gap in the gain, is Marley Adams' work, change your questions, change your life. And how, as human beings, we immediately go into judger mode on everything. Right. Yeah. So it's like everybody that's watching this right now, they're judging us like, oh shit, right. Kitchen, like, what is he doing? Oh, Jay, oh, he's a Cowboys fan. Right. So they start immediately judging. And so that being able to switch into learner mode, because where you get out of the gap and stay in the gain is always reflecting back on, it's not a loss. It's just like, it's lessons learned. It's like, what did we learn? Where can we apply this, and how are we going to continue to move forward? And so it's winning and learning. And that's really, I think, for us foundationally. And the more that we talk about this, the people like, oh, okay, I see who you guys are. That makes sense. Right. And when I share our deep, 6 rooted core values that we've always had, when we really truly learned about core values, it's, that growth mindset, always be learning, and it's not a loss. Chatting with Al, over the last few days, he dove back into the hard thing about hard things. And we talked about it again, and it's like, you're never out. The only time you're out is when you give up, when you quit. There's always a move. And if you're learning from the situation, if you're learning from the experience, you're going to be able to pull from that to propel you forward, especially when you've got a big enough future. And so I would add, I kind of gave my bundle this morning to the Foster, around that mindset thing, because the 3 books that I think had a significant impact on you, me, Reese, everybody around us in our circle at the time was, Carol Dweck's book, Mindset, was Byron Katie's book, Loving What Is, and then getting into Marley Adams' work, Change Your Questions, Change Your Life. Yeah. And it's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. The closer you can come to mastering that, the better life is.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. One of my favorite questions, and you always ask it, and it ties into, Marley's work, what else could it mean? And, if anybody, if you're looking for, if you're struggling with certain things, that is a question you want in your tool belt, not in your toolbox, right? Your toolbox, you got to walk over and grab it out of there. You need it on your tool belt, meaning it's with you at all times. And that is the question of, what else could it mean? Right? Jay didn't respond to my text. Like, what, like, why is he pissed off at me? No, he's not pissed off. Like, what else could it mean? So
he's probably on calls all day.
Yeah, he's probably on calls.
You would assume that would be the case. Yeah. Yeah. But you're right, man. It's, we catch ourselves doing it. And there's different levels too, right? Like there's, how you react when your kids do something, how you react when your spouse does something, how you react when an employee does something, or another agent does something. Like trying to have that awareness at all times is, it's not easy, but that's the key right there.
It is, bro. And it's just a constant work in progress. It's like, you get a little bit better every time you use it. You get a little bit better every time you experience it. You get a little bit better. You're not going to master it. I mean, it just takes so much time. So Chance is, do we have any resources to help build out funnels for events? Planning a lot of classes, events for agent attraction in 22, trying to get as many butts in chairs as possible. And I know you guys have historically done well with event advertising.
There is a document. I tried to find, I have it on my computer. I do not know what it's named. and I couldn't find it. I was trying to find it for someone else. It's something that Mike had created, or that maybe even Holly put together based upon all the events that we did and our whole entire structure for that. And it was fantastic. It was everything that they're looking for. Exactly. We'll have to see if we can find it. I think we might ask Holly. She might be the one that actually put it all together. If not, we'll have to get it from Mike or from whoever created it. But yeah, there is a whole process and document of everything that you need in order to do them that we've learned over the years, butts and seats, and we have done a lot of events.
Yeah,
put a lot of butts and seats. And
I took a note on that because so tomorrow when we're talking about it, because when we execute our events, we'll execute the same strategy. So let us, when we start rolling that, we'll be able to roll that and share with you guys that are committed to events. And I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to pull a Coach Burt line here. I'm going to keep saying it until you guys all get it. And here's the thing. You're never going to get it, so I'm going to keep saying it.
Right.
Is that if you commit to an event, you have to figure out three things. One, what is the primary goal? What is the primary objective of this event? What is the secondary objective of this event? And what is the monetization strategy for the event? If you do not check all three of those boxes, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. So just keep that in mind on those three things for events. Max, do you have a favorite master plan, tracker, spreadsheet, or graph or something wanting to break down and track and check off daily, weekly, monthly goals in all areas, something on the wall maybe? Can I give the default answer that we used to always give?
Yeah.
We gave this from stage. We don't care. You could use Big Chief tablet and Husky pencil. We don't care. It's just as long as you track it. Just as long as you track it. Honestly, that's the answer. Now, are there technology and tools and things out there? Yeah. If you want to go the low route, CTE is a great low cost, to be able to plug all of your numbers in at a high level that reports, and you can see cash flow projections. You can see all kinds of things. We do have something that we call our quad track. It's just an Excel spreadsheet. You're going to have to maintain the maintenance and all that stuff on it. CTE is still a spreadsheet. It's just a glorified spreadsheet that has maintenance, that has service to it. So it has a small monthly fee. And then if you want to play with the big boys, Sisu is the tool. That's, your Kyle Whistles, Daniel Beers, Veronica's. I mean, those that are running, organizations at a high level, they utilize that tool. There is an investment in it. It's in my opinion, it's not too cheap. It's a little bit of an investment, but when you understand the power, the four disciplines of execution, the scoreboard is a critical component into changing behavior in your organization and yourself.
Right.
More so than anything. Whiteboards and markers, it is. Max, that was us, man.
Dude, yeah. I literally, while we were just getting on this call, I was finishing up an order. I had ordered a much larger, one of those whiteboards that flips, you know what I'm saying? Because the one I have in here is just too small. It's way too small. And so I ordered one. I had one at my house when I wasn't in Puerto Rico. And then, so I ordered it, but it never showed up. I was like, why isn't that thing showing up? And so I went in and looked at my Amazon, and it just hadn't shipped. It was just in a stall pattern. So I just ordered another one, a bigger one,
I love
48 by 36, which I got bigger, but in this little room, I don't have enough room for it. But yeah, man, I put everything on the whiteboard. You know what I'm saying? I want to see it every day.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I've been lost since we moved from Texas, and you know what it was? I haven't had a whiteboard.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And we've had a whiteboard wall since 2005. We went to Lowe's and got dry erase board panels, 8 of them, glued them to the wall, had our carpenter come in, case it out, paint it so it looked legit. And that thing stayed completely full all the time.
Yep.
All the time.
Good
shit.
Stuff.
We had dry erase board walls in the NAEA office.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, man. You gotta have that.
It is. To me, it's the first step in any process, right? You get it out of your head into a visual, and then from there you can, take it to a MindMeister tool or something like that. You can turn it into a priority. You can get it into a project management tool like a Trello, and then into the calendar. That's kind of the sequence that I've really leaned into over the years.
Yep.
But yeah, it starts with the whiteboard.
Indeed.
Oh man. So, what are you seeing? Conversations in the marketplace, agents. I saw one of GoGo's posts earlier. It was like, agents are doing the math, right? This is the time of the year they're doing the math.
Yep. I had a couple calls like that yesterday. It's still, and this lady actually, she actually, the agent that put her on a call with me, I'm not going to put anybody's business out there, but anyway, the person that put me on the call said, "Hey, this agent isn't leaving where they're at. They just went there like a year ago, so they're not looking to leave, but they're open-minded." And she watched the video, and so that's the first thing she said. She said it was an hour-long video, and so you may have to recap some of that, which is naturally going to be the case, and but she was open-minded enough to watch the damn video. And I can't stress enough, like you just got to get people that are open-minded enough to look at it. And if they look at it, there's usually going to be enough curiosity or questions they may have to say, hey, well, maybe I'm missing something, right? And she was doing decent in her business, but she's trying to get to the next level and is kind of hoping, this is what her brokerage is telling her, hey, just give us a couple months. We're gonna have some new training out, and they don't have shit, right? Like they're not gonna come out with no new training. They don't know how to help you grow your business, and they don't have the tools to help you grow your business. And she kind of knows that, but she's kind of doesn't want to, feel like she's leaving again, and hopeful that whatever. After a 20-minute conversation, she realized, oh shit, I got to do more research here. This is a much better opportunity. And the math is going to work out. I mean, the math is going to be the easy part, but the reason she's moving is because she understands, because I connected the dots on how we're going to help her grow her business. Yeah. And like that is all you have to do to get people to come to EXP is you have to get them to be open-minded or excited or curious enough to watch the video, and then get them on a call to have a conversation about where they're trying to grow in their business and what they feel like they need and how you're going to how we'll help them do that. Right. And then Bush, again, clarity on listening with whatever your vision is the next 5 years, you can stay another year where you're at and get no closer to that vision, or you could move into a position where you're going to have a potential exit. You have a new passive income stream you could have, and you're going to have some assistance from people that are financially in alignment with helping you be successful. We don't get paid unless we help you sell more houses. And that's what tips them over. I mean, every single time, that's what tips them over. And so those are the conversations I love having. Like, if you're not people, there's so many agents out there that just do not understand the opportunity of EXP. They just don't understand it. They just don't. And that's, that our job is to educate and inform. And the best way to do that is not with your mouth. It's with the asset that we use, the video, which, by the way, we're probably a week from launching, maybe 2 weeks, probably 2 weeks from launching, be realistic here. The new tool that we have, and that's going to be, it's going to legitimately be the best thing we've ever done since we've been at EXP. It's going to be great. So I'm super excited. Yeah,
I love it.
Yep.
Why is that? I love your viewpoint, your perspective. I mean, because you've just been in the trenches with so many conversations. Why do agents not get it, man? Why do they not see the real opportunity?
Well, so here's what I know about this process that, and again, I use the analogy a lot of people say, yeah, nobody wants to watch an hour-long video. So, well, unless you've sold tens of millions of dollars worth of stuff to people, you shouldn't question the method that we use to get people to do that. And so I understand that people would like people to, it's a complex sell. Okay. So when you're selling anything, how many things you're asking people to believe in is the biggest thing you have to overcome. And so what are we asking people to believe? We're asking people to believe in their own ability to recruit agents and that be something meaningful for them. We're asking them to believe in this new company is going to deliver. Are you still there?
Yeah. Was it me or was it you? I didn't know if it was that Puerto Rican.
I don't know. It's probably the Puerto Rican, the generator's not on yet, but if it kicks on, we'll know that's what it is.
Yeah. So go back to the beliefs.
Yeah. Right? So those beliefs what are we asking them to believe? And, to ask someone to believe that a company is going to do something more for them than the company they're at, that's a huge thing to get someone to take action on. What they can believe is they can believe in the people that they're joining. It's easier to get someone to believe that, hey, I'm sitting here telling you I'm going to help you, and here's how I'm going to do it, and here's my track record of performance of doing it for others. And so that's easier to believe in than anything else you could be asking them. And so, if you're, and people's own limiting beliefs are the biggest fear, right? They don't, well, that's great that you can make money in recruiting, but I don't believe I can do that. Right. That's how they convince themselves they're not going to move over. Well, that stock's great, but it's too late now. I'm not going to benefit from that. All of those things are the thoughts that go on in the agent's mind. And the reason that the video that we have goes into explaining our track record of, number one, doing what you're trying to do, sell more houses, and more importantly, our track record for creating systems to help others do the same thing, which is truthfully what is the most valuable piece. It's great that I was successful, but if I had no clue how the hell I got here, and I don't have systems for helping you to do the same and make it easier for you, then unfortunately, I might not be the best mentor or coach for you. And so, what they believe in is, in going through this process is, hey, there's actually a lot more to just the business model in the company. Do I believe that this group of people is going to be able to help me grow my business? And then that's what they buy into. That's what they're buying is, they're buying into us as a group, as individuals that that they're talking to. They're buying you, and so you have to be able to accomplish that. And then that's why in our structure of the videos that we have, we have an explanation of what partnership is and why that's important, because that's what they're really buying. You could put your name, it could be balloons or giraffes or EXP on the sign. It doesn't matter. The business model of EXP is superior to every other business model, but what they're truly buying into is our ability to help them. And that's why, I think that's not being construed in most people's videos, right? And, most of the information about EXP is just talking about fundamentally the business model. It doesn't explain, well, why does, and then this is why I also explain the reason why do agents recruit at EXP? Why is that a thing? What's going on? It seems like it's just a big recruiting company. That's what they all say, right? And so that's why I always explain it to them. So listen, let me explain why this exists. This opportunity exists the way it does. And when you understand the way franchises grew, owning regions and selling franchises and having territories, the opportunity in real estate was owned by the regional owner, whoever owned the whole franchise system, and then the broker owner, that was the smallest opportunity, but that was an opportunity nonetheless. Those folks bought those opportunities to go recruit agents. So every company is a recruiting company. The difference is the agent never had the ability to have any benefit from it.
Any benefit in the game, anything.
Right. There's just no, even if as an agent, you love your company and you told people to come join, say, hey, yeah, you should get your license. You had a client that got in the business and they wanted to get their license and they came and joined your company. There just wasn't a compensation for that because of the structure of the business model. And once you understand, well, we're cloud-based, there's no territories, there's no royalty fees. And that's the reason why agents recruit, because there's no other way for the company to grow other than if somebody tells somebody else through word of mouth. And we have a compensation model. This lady yesterday said the same thing everybody says. Well, it's kind of like MLM. It's like, I know it's not MLM, but you know what I mean? I said, yeah. I said, I know exactly what you mean. I said, let me explain what it is just so you can understand. It's network marketing. So you know what network marketing is? Well, kind of, yeah, I said, well, the compensation model for network marketing is essentially word of mouth marketing. So your ability to tell someone about this product and get other people to join you and help sell this product is one way to take a product to market. And so the compensation is to find great leaders that can lead other people to do this. And so they compensate very well. We adapted and adopted and applied that compensation model to the agents that join the EXP. And how we grow is you can invite agents to join this company and get paid a revenue share off of the commissions that they're paying into the company. That's the reason the opportunity exists. Once they kind of, okay, that makes sense. And so you don't have to do it, but if somebody asks you about EXP, I promise you, you would want to, and you like that agent and you wanted to come join, you'd like to get paid some passive income from that, wouldn't you? Well, yeah. Okay, well, we'll show you how to do that, maybe even more regularly, and add that as a way to a new revenue stream for your business model. You don't ever have to talk to anybody that doesn't want to talk to you first. And so, you just disarm all those things in the conversation and show it to be opportunity. It doesn't hurt it. It does. If you never did it one time, there's no downside. So it's not about it. And then I got to the end of this conversation. The best part, I didn't know this. I did talk more than I should have on this call. I should have asked some more questions and I would have known this. But she's like, yeah, well, I used to be a recruiter. And I was like, well, then you definitely need to look a little bit. I said, I would say, we can certainly help you grow your business from 4 million to 8 million to 20 million if that's what your goal is. I said, but I would strongly encourage you to look closer at the opportunity side of this, because I believe that this opportunity exists for people that understand skills. If you have a skill for how to recruit, then this business model offers you something that no other company can offer. And then I showed her how much money I was making. She's like, okay, now I'm really interested, right? And so that's but it's it's just a better way, right? Like that's what it boils down to. Everybody that takes the time to understand the business model and the opportunity, unless they're just really, really dumb, it's real hard to come up with a reason that's justifiable why you wouldn't want to be an EXP.
Yeah, I think when you unpack it the way that you just did, and I'm with you, man. We've gone through the thought process, and how can we pour more into our agents to help them be more successful, help them have a better quality of life. And when you're running an organization, when you're running a team, when you're running a small brokerage, there's just not enough dollars at the end of the day to be able to pour back into them. And I believe that if you truly care about your agents and your people, then you owe it to them to look at the opportunity. And I just that other hard belief is that you deserve an opportunity to have a real exit strategy in an industry that doesn't have one.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where this comes in. But I love what you were saying about, it's all about, do they believe in the relationship and the people that they're aligning with to help them solve their problem. And it goes back to, our conversation at lunch in Fort Lauderdale in 2017, and you and I sitting right beside each other, right across the table from Jason and Glenn, and then just listening to Glenn share the vision. And I'm like, I believe in that. And then confirmation, less than 2 years later, sitting in Orlando at shareholders. And I text you, I was like, this mofo he's executing exactly what he told us at lunch in 2017 to the T.
Yep.
And so that only just reconfirmed my belief.
Right.
And that, and we talk about this all the time. Al and I were talking about it over the weekend, man. You always bet on the jockey. You bet on the jockey. And that's why I believe a lot of these copycats, they ain't got the jockey.
Mm-mm.
They ain't got the jockey.
They definitely don't.
You want to go latch on and get on that pony? I mean, you're rolling the dice with your career, and you're rolling the dice with something. So yeah, I just believe you got to bet on the jockey. I believe you got to bet on people, and everything you said right there. If you guys listening in, man, just go back and re-listen to that again and again and again. I mean, that's so powerful and so true. I mean, we've seen it so many times, and we hear it all the time, right? People leave EXP and they come back aligned with us, and they're like, I wasn't aligned with the people. I didn't believe in them. I didn't believe that they could help me accomplish what I'm wanting to accomplish. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
That's so awesome, man. So awesome. Cool. What else you guys got? What else on your mind? Just want to say happy holidays to everybody out there. Hope you guys have a magical Christmas and safe and happy New Year. We are definitely not slowing down.
Nope.
Cooking more up in the lab. Did you see? I posted it in the I think I posted it in the our text accountability group, the YouTube with Dre and M. Did you?
No, I didn't see it.
I'll resend it to you.
All right.
Yeah, they dropped it on YouTube, and then less than 24 hours, it had 1 million views. I don't even know what it's up to right now.
Holy moly.
Dre goes off.
I can't wait.
Goes off. They're playing the Super Bowl. Him, Snoop, M, I think one more. But yeah, they're doing the Super Bowl this year.
That'd be fun.
For sure. For sure.
I'm not gonna jinx it, but I'm gonna go to the Super Bowl this year.
Get it. Competing with Compass with their agent attraction. What's Compass rolling out? Do you know?
Compass. I don't know what, so now competing with Compass with their agent attraction. There's it's a simple math equation. I can give an example of a guy who went to Compass and got the stock that they offered, and then compare that to if they had been at EXP, and he would be worth probably $2 million in stock, where his stock went down in value. I mean, it was a joke. Still has consistently. In fact, take the graph of Compass's chart, take it out over 5 years or whatever, however long you can do it, to display it, and watch what it does. Straight down. I mean, it's so that, look at, the best prediction of future is past performance. Show them the stock, number one. Number two, do the math. It's an 86% split. Or 84% split, 6% royalty plus a 10%. So, do that math and ask someone what their goal is next year. So that, if they're getting recruited to Compass, they must be doing a decent amount. They're probably going to be, a potential icon, I would say. So the difference there is 16,000 in stock versus how much ever, that volume would be that they'd be paying in there. So it's Compass is a joke. Like their technology is like, just like any other technology. It's good if you use it. It's not good, if you don't use it. And arguably good. Obviously, it's okay. It's not better than, the people that use it that I know that are at Compass or that were at Compass all said the same thing. It's, it's plus or minus just like, 10% of everything else I've ever used. It's nothing phenomenal. So it's just Compass is they're the least of our worries. So if you're competing against Compass, potentially you're dealing with an agent that doesn't understand that they are the brand, and it doesn't really matter what company that they're at. Compass has been purchasing agents. It's called a non-interest loan. They're buying you with your money that they take out of your check every closing. And so you taking that money is just like taking a non-interest loan. They're not getting paid to go to Compass. They're going to get it all back and then some. And if you don't believe that, read their contract. Before you sign anything, have an attorney look at it. It's just it's an education process with somebody that's looking at Compass and considering EXP. It's crazy. You'd be dumb to go to Compass. There's no value in Compass as far as a brand goes.
God, that's a great way to look at it, man. That sign on is just a loan. That's all it is.
Yeah. They're just giving you your money and up front, and they're going to get it back over time and then some.
That's it. But man, agents, they're so short-sighted, a lot of them are just barely thinking about how they're going to, did they make it, were they able to get enough Christmas presents under the tree, let alone, thinking about, where they're going to be in 23 or 24 or 25 and beyond.
Right.
We just have seen it. I mean, for the last decade plus, I mean, it's just so short-sighted, they're just from that scarcity mindset, scarcity mentality. And it's driven by circumstance. It's driven by the environment. It's driven by their team leads. It's driven by the brokers. It's driven by the franchise. It's driven by what they're adapted to, and I was talking with Hillsman about this last week, and we used to be the go-to source for people that were independent, because that was kind of the best option, right? You go independent before EXP. And think about that. There are organizations out there, but really think where independent brokers hang out. Who do they associate with? Who are they having conversations with? Most of them won't invest because they're going independent to save a penny. But they're not willing to invest in their personal development, their business development, their growth.
Or they end up on an island, right? Like, they used to go to their franchise meetings and stuff like that, and now they don't have that anymore. So like now they've gone through a period of time where they haven't been growing just because they didn't have a meeting that's coming up that's already in the calendar or whatever, right? So
even if it's just a sounding board to talk out loud to answer their own question, right? How many times do we just talk out like, oh, got it. I don't even know why I wasn't even thinking that way. Like they don't even have that, right? They get on that island. Uh-oh. Froze up for a second. Okay, cool.
I skipped a beat there.
It's all right. Hey, so give some
Nick's
insight.
got a question on
Dive into that a little bit if you can.
Okay, Debbie. Yeah, so I don't have any I mean, I've heard a few things from people that I would trust, which, always, you always got to be careful. People do that with EXP and all the time, and it's incorrect. But yeah, so I've heard a little bit. This feels a little bit like, and Nick, you'll definitely appreciate this because you've had it done to you. It's just another one of their stall tactics, right? Like, hey man, we've got something coming. Just give us a little while longer, right? Like that is like the most common KW response. I think there must be training people to do that now. Hey, just give me a couple weeks, or hey, give us a couple months, man. Something big's coming. And so for the KW loyal, it's probably enough to keep them hanging around, hopeful. I have no idea what it's going to actually be, or if it's actually going to be, or when it might actually be. I think this is, more than anything, a way for Gary Keller to take some chips off the table that, he's personally invested in. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's, I do know one thing that, I can't really say, but, it's not good. Let me just say, I will publicly say, I don't believe it's going to be a real good year for KW. I'll just say that. So yeah, I don't know what and again, they're so vague. I mean, it's so weak. They've done it so many times now. You would think people have just gotten callous to it, but it amazes me that still some agents still be like, okay, yeah, we believe you're going to do it this time, Gary. I thought y'all were a technology company. What happened to that? That's been like what, 4 years in the coming. Like, come on now. Like, just if you're there, yeah, man, I don't know why you would still be there. You're just super loyal or super dumb.
Like a lot of loyalty
and a lot of entanglement too, right? Like it's hard to get out of it. They did a freaking great job with their business model of getting you sucked into owning part of the market center. Hey, you going to own parts of this piece of shit with us? Like, okay, yeah, that sounds great, man. I got some ownership. Oh, well, you got to pay for it. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll throw in some money on that. And there's just hopefully there's some value in it, but for a lot of people it's not, and it's difficult if you own pieces of all that stuff to untangle it and get away. So smart, but again, not in the best interest of the agent. And that's what happens when, and again, I think they probably had good intentions with that. It wasn't bad intentions, but they didn't, no different than, our stock vests, right? Like that's not to keep you at EXP. It's not a negative thing. But it is, it is going to keep you at EXP, right? And it's the same thing that they did. So I just think, when you read the ICAs that, it's very clear that we do everything we can to make agents want to stay, and every other company does everything they can to keep agents from being able to leave. That's a big difference.
They're playing defense instead of playing offense.
Yep.
That's a big difference. Exit says they're doing that formally with Exit and would love some great responses I could use towards the agents I used to work with there, because I believe they are all missing out.
Yeah, man. I think, depending on the agent and what their reasoning is, just show them a screenshot of what it looks like on levels below level 2. That's where all the growth is, right? So, right now, my numbers are a 4-to-1 ratio, level 1 to level 2, after 4 years, right? So a lot of growth happening on that second level over the course of 4 years. And then, that's 425 agents ish, maybe on level 2, 93 agents on level 1 for me. And so again, 2 agents a month, just put that in perspective, guys. Not a lot of people. It feels slow. It's going to feel slow, but it's consistency that matters. So level 2 is like 425. Level 6 and 7 are over 2,000 on level 7, and over probably 1,800, almost 2,000 on level 6. They're pretty close. But like that's getting paid on an extra 4,000 agents versus 400 agents, for instance, would be a big deal. And I think, isn't Exit only pay out on level 1? They don't even pay it on level 2, or do they?
I think 1 and 2.
1 and 2. So yeah. And again, the problem with that model is that you're not going to have the kind of growth on level 2, because less people are going to focus. Get your agents, the agents that join you are truly just trying to learn how to sell more real estate, and the opportunity isn't big enough for them to recruit other agents. And so you just don't get the kind of growth that you get with the XP's model. And so yeah, I mean, that's one thing I would definitely look at.
Yeah. And then Michelle, and I'll tell this for everybody listening in, don't try to carry that wheelbarrow. Don't try to push it all by yourself. You need to get some third party validation. I tell the story all the time, right? Jay and I would preach till we're blue in the face to our team, and on core concepts, on core principles, on techniques, on things that they need to do to be successful. And Mike would come up and say the exact god dang same thing as us, and they would think it's the greatest thing on
Right.
earth. Oh my God, did you hear this earth breaking thing Mike shared?
Right.
Jay and I would look at each other and just start dying laughing, because
Right.
it's just sometimes that they need to hear the same message from a different perspective. And so you've got two of the biggest behemoths in the Honey Badger Nation that were a part of EXP, in Vincent Koo and Gil Ramos. So if you're not reaching out to them to help you overcome, I wouldn't put single agents. I wouldn't reach out to them for single agents, but I would reach out to them for those blue marlin relationships that are there.
Yep. Yeah. You got a blue marlin on the line that's interested and that's looking at the model, and they're just not getting it. You should be pulling in somebody. Pulling in somebody that can really demonstrate and show the proof of what the difference is in the model. Is that one of the biggest
mistakes that you see with agents, is that they try to carry the burden all themselves instead of leveraging?
Yeah, it's probably the hardest thing is this is the biggest mistake everybody's made here at EXP, and we've tried to preach it, but we're all entrepreneurs and we all kind of do our own thing. Where the groups that I've seen grow, organically following the process of invite them to a video, get them on a three-way call, that process is duplicatable. And so like, if you weren't brought on that way and the person above you didn't do, like with Dan Hilsman, and these numbers aren't exact, I wish I had the exact numbers, but I'm going to guess that, Dan's got 4 or 5 leaders in his group now. He's up to 700 plus in his group. He's got 3 leaders that I probably did with Dan individually between 25 and 50 three-way calls, just with me, him, and the third person. And then I did the same thing with James and Levi and Andre, with Dan on a lot of those calls. Now, Dan has probably listened to, we could ask him, I don't know how many of three-way calls, but he knows how to do a three-way call. He's listened to enough of them. At a certain point, he's like, I can do that. I can do what you just did.
At least 100. I would say.
At least. I would say, yeah. And so if, the beautiful thing about that is Dan doesn't need to put me on a three-way call hardly ever, right? He's doing three-way calls now for I did probably 50 for Andre, 50 for James, and 50 for Levi. I don't know if those are, and if you guys are listening, so Dan says 150 plus. So like, if you don't have a leader that's doing that with you, who are you going to go to, right? Like, it's not duplicating because you didn't start with that process, and they're not teaching their best people, And so like, as I'm looking at this, at 2000 or 2022, and right before we got on, John, that was what we were talking about. I was like, I'm looking for my next 3 1,000 leg people right now. Like, Dan's good. He's gone. He's blowing up. He's, that's going to, he knows now, and he knows his key people he's working with, and he's helping them get with their 3 key people that he's helping grow it with. That is duplication. That is what's happening within that leg. And now I'm looking for my next, within my front, probably 3 levels. I'm looking for the 2 or 3 people that if I really help them identify their 3 and get on three-way calls with them, and there are 3 people doing the same thing, that I can create that duplication. And there's another leg that grows to a few thousand, and another leg that grows to a few. That's where my time is most valuable. And so what I struggle with is, I wish I could just open up my calendar every day to everybody in the group and do three-way calls for everybody. And it's just impossible to do. But you've got to, that process, you got to be doing it. You have to have somebody that you're selling on, hey, listen, you need to join, you need to get on the call, and you got to talk to this person. Like, you have to be selling someone as a third party, as opposed to trying to direct sell someone into EXP. That is the model. And so, find that person that wants to help you grow, that's in your upline. And again, I've done thousands upon thousands of three-way calls for everybody that's ever asked for them. And so, I'm not saying I won't do them, but it's a little bit more challenging for me to find.
Yeah. And
the time, but that's how you get it going.
Yeah. And for you guys
that's
listening
really
oh, sorry. You froze up for a second. So I was going to jump in.
Yeah. Yep.
I was just going to say too, don't think you're bothering them. this organization has, especially the Honey Badger Nation, has really become a collection of abundant minded, individuals that are looking just to pour back in. It doesn't mean, oh, I can't help you, you're not in my downline, right? Like, it's just, it just doesn't work that way, because the more successful the organization is, the more successful the company is, the more valuable the stock is, we all win. And so you don't allow that limiting belief, or that thought that is not true, that, oh, I can't reach out to them, they're too busy, they won't want to help me. That's just not true. That's not true. So don't even allow yourself to think that way, and just reach out. Reach out to a couple people, reach out again. What else could it mean if they don't respond?
Yep.
And don't allow yourself, because I promise you, honey badgers want to help other honey badgers.
Yeah. Anybody that's capable of helping you bring some. And here's another kind of distinction too to keep in mind. This is 4 years in, group of nearly 8,000, our total group's almost 10,000. So I'm in a different place in the game, so to speak, right? So in the beginning, I did calls for any and everybody, no matter where they were in the organization. It didn't matter. That I just did as many of them as I could for anybody who was wanting to get on my calendar. And it was a wide open ball game. And I did it sun up to sundown every day. And that was I believe that was the reason that we grew as fast or faster than most groups, is because of that commitment to having conversations, right? If I do 10 calls in a day, and I did that 5 days a week, which I did on the weekends and everything too, in the first couple years, 3 years probably, that's, you start adding that up. Okay, well, I might have been the difference in impacting maybe 100 people join this month, right? And like, that's where you start to get momentum. Plus, you got people that are saying, hey man, that's really helpful. I'm going to keep doing this because you're helping me close these people. And so you get everyone momentum, and you get everyone going. And, and that's, so some of what I'm talking about and how I'm looking at things I kind of understand what Rob Flick did when he got to a certain point, and he did very similar to where my focus is now, is like, how do you take, this and recreate it, and get your group to continue to grow at a fast pace. I ain't going to ever retire. So what's my best strategy? What's going to be where my focus and attention needs to be to have the greatest impact overall? And so that's it's a little different with where I'm at than maybe what some of the leaders should be thinking, about with where they're at. They should be deep within their org, helping everybody. Anybody and everybody who wants your time, you should be giving it to. That's where the lever is.
It's so good, man. What a way to wrap up the year. And just want to let everybody know, man, we're honored to be able to pour into you guys. And we don't take it for granted. We really cherish and honor our opportunity, really, and super grateful for all of you to be able to be here, be in a capacity to be able to pour into you. And man, we just buckle up. It's just, I say it all the time, man. It's just like, we're just getting started. And we're 4 years in this, we're almost 20-year run in the industry. And it's just like, man, we haven't even started yet. And that's honestly what I believe, and that's how I feel. And I'm excited for the future, and I'm excited for all the amazing human beings that we have in the Honey Badger Nation. And because I appreciate you more than and like I said, man, I look forward to Tuesdays at 11 Central every week. It's one of my favorite times of the week. And so, man, thank you, Cuz. Thank you guys for listening in, man. Appreciate y'all. Happy holidays. Stay safe. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Love y'all. Peace.
See you.